Sally Field acknowledges James Garner for the first time at the age of 78. Sally Margaret Field came into this world in Pasadena, California on November 6, 1946. Margaret Field, her mother, was an actress, and Jock Mahoney. Her stepfather was a famous actor, therefore she came from an entertainment household. Player and performer, Field had exposure to the performing arts at an early age. Her path to fame, however, was far from smooth or trouble-free. She discovered at a young age that acting gave her a platform from which to express herself. Despite her shyness and sensitivity, feeling of inclusion, this inspiration would drive her to carve out a successful acting career, and she would go on to become one of the most beloved actresses of her time. In the 1960s, Field shot to stardom after landing the role of a surfer teen in the hit TV comedy Gig, 1965-1966. Charming and full of hope. The show only ran for one season, but it was Field's big break, and she gained a legion of fans in the process. The Flying Nun, which aired from 1967 to 1970, was her second television series. In it, she portrayed the role of Sister Bertriel, a novice nun known for her diminutive stature and aerodynamic habit, enabled her to soar through the air. Field gained more fame and fortune from the program, but she often thought her skill was overshadowed by the role's emphasis on gimmicks. She came clean later on how she was terrified of being stereotyped as a weak actor who would only ever play humorous or adorable roles. However, despite the limitations, her early responsibilities provided her with significant experience and the strength to persevere when others might have given up. Sally Field, who was hell-bent on making an impression, enrolled in acting school at the famous Actors Studio and trained under the late great Lee Strasberg. The instruction had a profound impact. It bolstered her self-esteem and provided the means for her to go from light-hearted television comedic roles to more serious dramatic ones. Her breakout role was as a young woman suffering from multiple personality disorder in the 1976 television film Sybil. Both reviewers and viewers were pleasantly surprised by the performance. Those who had written Field off as nothing more than a sitcom star were put to rest by her haunting and profoundly sympathetic performance. The portrayal brought her the esteem of her peers in the entertainment world as well as an Emmy Prize. For Field, the golden age of Hollywood came in the 70s and 80s. With roles like Norma Ray 1979, in which she portrayed a textile worker in the South who later became a union organizer, she had an easy transition into filmmaking and enjoyed critical and financial success. It was for this part that she won an Oscar, for she solidified her image as a formidable actress who could portray nuanced, strong women and was named Best Actress. After this success, she won an Oscar for her portrayal of a widowed Texas mother fighting for the survival of her family and farm during the Great Depression in 1984's Places in the Heart. Her hallmarks, her flexibility, emotional depth, and unfaltering authenticity were on full display in these flicks. Sally Fields has an impressive resume that includes several noteworthy films in addition to her Oscars. The 1977 film Smokey and the Bandit, where Burt Reynolds and her charisma and timing for comedy were a natural match. Among the most iconic scenes in contemporary film is her tragic portrayal of a mother grieving the death of her daughter in 1989, a film by Steel Magnolia. She contributed humor and compassion to the role of the caring mother in Mrs. Doubtfire 1993. In 1994, she had a memorable performance alongside Robin Williams as Gump's wise and enduring mother in the film Forrest Gump. She showed in every project that she could effortlessly switch between dramatic and comedic roles, and from light to dark. Her first feature film directing credit was 1996's The Christmas Tree, a television movie. She directed her debut feature, Beautiful, and an episode of the television miniseries From the Earth to the Moon in the years that followed. During her career, Field was also quite successful on television. She went on to win 2 more Emmys for her work in emergency room dramas and her portrayal of performed by Nora Walker, the matriarch, from 2006 until 2011 in the popular series Brothers and Sisters. Even as the entertainment business evolved around her, her talent and importance remained constant, as seen by these initiatives. She recently portrayed Mrs. Parker and Aunt May in the superhero flick, The Amazing Spider-Man. The historical play Lincoln starred Abraham Lincoln. The 2014 Spider-Man sequel will include her returning as Aunt May. As an activist and fearless public speaker, Sally Field has garnered admiration outside of the entertainment industry as well. Throughout her advocated for the rights of LGBTQ+ people, workers and women, frequently utilizing her platform to highlight causes near and dear to her. Her vocal advocacy for LGBTQ+ equality and her son's sexual orientation earned her the 2012 Ally for Equality Award from the Human Rights Campaign. With her, she has become a Hollywood icon and an inspiration for genuine empathy and kindness through her advocacy work. In Pieces, Field's memoir published in 2018 offered readers an inside look at her life, discussing her upbringing, professional experiences, relationships, and personal battles in an honest and occasionally painful manner. That to me was applauded for being brave and honest, revealing a personal side of the actress to viewers. Among Sally Field's many accolades are 2 Academy Awards, 3 Emmys, 2 Golden Globes, and most recently, the 2019 Kennedy Center Honor, the arts world's highest honor. Her lasting influence on American society is shown in the awards she has received. Her portrayal of each role with genuine emotion is what genuinely distinguishes her, though the accolades certainly help. Sally Field's authenticity is what makes her audiences believe her. In whatever role she plays, from a rebellious adolescent to a she, exudes genuine emotion, whether she's a heartbroken mother or a resolute activist. Field appeared in the 2023 comedy film 80 for Brady, alongside Rita Moreno, Jane Fonda, and Lily Tomlin. The film also stars NFL quarterback Tom Brady. Field became the 58th person to receive the Screen Actors Guild Award in 2023. The 29th Screen Actors Guild Awards recognized her with the Actors Guild Life Achievement Award. Like her extraordinary acting career, Sally Field's private life has been full of twists and turns. In 1968, she tied the knot with actor and producer Stephen Craig for the first time. Nevertheless, they encountered difficulties experienced at the beginning, and despite their public separation in 1973, the union was not completely dissolved until 1975. While they were together, Field and Craig had 2 boys, who would each become famous artists in their own right. Born in 1969, their eldest son, Peter Craig, followed his dream of becoming a writer and screenwriter, becoming a household name in Hollywood and the literary world. Being born in 1972, their second son, Eli Craig, took a slightly different path in the entertainment industry. He became a director and actor, continuing his father's creative history. A unique and exciting manner as a mother. Although Field's marriage to Craig did not last, it was a pivotal time for her, blending the early years of motherhood with her thriving acting career. Field began an affair with a famous Hollywood actor when her marriage failed, Most Magnetic Performers, Burt Reynolds. Smokey and the Bandit, Smokey and the Bandit 2, The End and Hooper were 4 of the most famous films in which they appeared, contributing to the public's infatuation with their romance, which lasted from 1976 until 1980. They were one of the best because their on-screen chemistry reflected their real-life bond. Most talked about couples in the Hollywood industry back then. Although Field and Reynolds' relationship ended formally in 1980, they kept in touch and saw each other sometimes as they navigated the difficulties of their intertwined personal and professional lives. Their sporadic relationship lasted until in 1982, ending a period in Field's love life that was both widely publicized and intensely monitored. Despite the end of their relationship, Field's time with Reynolds was formative as she struggled to meet the expectations of celebrity while also satisfying her need for real connection. After Sally Field's 1984 stepped up her personal life by tying the knot with businessman Alan Greeman, a man she would spend a good chunk of her adult life with. In 1987, Field welcomed a boy named Sam into the world, boosting her family's size and the responsibilities she faced as a mother. However, this union divorced in 1994 after a long and fruitful marriage marked by shared experiences and the delights of parenthood. Every one of Field's interactions, whether with family or friends, shaped her professionally and personally by adding to her knowledge of love, partnerships, and parenting, married life, motherhood, and the rise to fame. In relationships, we see a mother juggling her devotion to her children and her profession with the challenges of a life in the spotlight. Celebrated and multi-award-winning actress Sally Field has now decided to speak openly and candidly about her life and career at the age of 78. Collaborations with the illustrious actor James Garner. Beyond being a professional colleague, Garner had a profound impact on Field's life in many ways, including her career. He was famous for his charisma, humor, and unmistakable screen presence. Field has gained renown throughout the years for her talent in portraying complex emotions on screen, her adeptness at subtly timing humorous moments, and her dogged dedication to being real in all of her roles. But she comes clean about her long silence on Garner, which she attributes in part to her desire to protect his privacy and in part to the tangled feelings that surrounded their shared past. Field starts by saying, "I've always admired him from a distance," her voice carrying a mix of awe and nostalgia. James possessed an air of natural charisma, and his modest demeanor made it hard not to admire him right away. It seems like I gave this a lot of thought concerning the appropriate terminology, and perhaps I held off until I felt comfortable expressing my thoughts openly without undermining the guy he was. Field remembers their first encounter clearly, describing a young actress who was both anxious and excited as she stepped onto a studio lot. "I recall experiencing a combination of amazement and incredulity when I initially encountered James. I remember," she says, "out of nowhere I found myself sharing a scene with this legendary actor who had been in countless films and who everyone whispered about with awe. I was petrified, and I believe he felt my anxiety since he had this natural ability to make people feel comfortable just being himself. One of a kind his talent, and I believe that is the reason why he captivated everyone he met." She is also very forthright about the subtleties of collaborating with an actor of Garner's stature. Every scene seemed to come to life on set because of James's rhythm, his innate sense of time and emotion. It was a gracious actor who never sought to steal the show but instead brought every moment to its full potential. Even after all these time, I still think about how unusual that kind of generosity is in Hollywood. Observing his work taught me many things, including acting, humanism, patience, and grace in the face of adversity. Pressure. By addressing the intimate details of their friendship, Field alludes to the intricacies that lie underneath the surface of their bond. "Neither of us was only an employee. We exchanged deeply personal moments, the kind of things that could be hard to record on film. Like any two independent individuals, we had our share of laughs, our share of struggles, and our share of disagreements. His constant kindness, though, was what really struck me. It is unusual to find someone with James's ability to make you feel recognized, valued, and respected in this line of work. Upon further reflection, I've come to the realization that my reluctance to speak publicly was partially motivated by my desire to avoid oversimplifying the profound impact he had on my life. Beyond his professional greatness, her admiration for Garner knows no bounds. James failed to a fantastic human person in addition to being a brilliant performer. His moral compass led him in inspiring ways, and Field stresses that he had this quiet strength. He maintained his grounding, kindness, and principle in a culture that frequently values flash above substance. Due of those traits, they turned him into someone you could trust and learn from, making him an absolute delight to work with. Field concludes by considering Garner's impact on Hollywood and the people he was close to. "He touched so many lives in ways that go far beyond film and television," she says with gentleness. "I think it's easy to remember him for the characters he played, but it's the way he treated people, the respect, the humor, the generosity that really defines him. Now that I'm at a point in my life where I can reflect on him, I'm thankful for the time we spent together and the memories we shared." An exceptional talent, James Garner was truly one of a kind. Yes, also he was an extraordinary man who touched the lives of everyone fortunate enough to meet him. It is my sincere wish that my writing may help readers have a better grasp of the remarkable individual he actually was. By sharing these thoughts, Sally Field pays tribute to James Garner's lasting impact on her life, while also revealing something intimate about the impact he had on her. Even at the age of 78, her words are heavy with the emotion, experience, and memory of decades past, and she offers for fans and fellow artists of the time an intimate and touching depiction of an artist whose genius went well beyond the silver screen.